So there used to be certain things that I couldn't have in this house because I wouldn't be able to control myself. And we're talking about food here. How many of you is this going to land with? That you are somebody that's like, if I've got it in the house, I've got to eat it. Or I won't buy it because it's easier and I haven't got to have that self control. Or are you one of those people that you buy it, you've got to eat it all, and then you say, well, I won't get it again, and that's over, and I'm going to be good, and I'm going to start my diet on Monday? Is that you? Because if it is, this video is for you, and you're going to understand it's your inner child creating all of this. It's not you. There's nothing wrong. You're not broken. And here's how you can learn to fix that. So, if that's you, I want you to know that your nervous system learned a long time ago that that's you in survival mode, that it doesn't know where the next item of food is coming from. And maybe you grew up like me. Maybe you were one of those people that you were put to bed when you were hungry. Maybe you were one of those people that was, oh, you can have it later. Or did you have brothers and sisters and you'd go to the food cupboard and everything would be gone? But then what would happen is your beautiful little child inside of you would be like, not for me then. And what happens is, even if you don't resonate with the word inner child, there is still a small, tiny part of you, whether you know that or not, that is controlling everything around your food decisions. So when you are that person that is impulsively going to buy chocolate or whatever, and maybe you're one of these people that is always on a diet. I've been there. I've spent most of my life on a diet, if I'm honest. I used to get weighed as a kid every single day by my mum for periods of time. Is that also true for you? Because what I want to say is a lot of what you saw when you were growing up around food, you continue to do as an adult until you start to actually learn to work with your inner child. So, what is your inner child? Regardless if you're male or female watching this, everybody has an inner child. But if you're male, you'll have an inner boy. Or if you want to go into masculine and feminine energies, we all actually have an inner boy and an inner girl. And your inner child, as we call it, they are the most vulnerable part of you. They are the emotions. And they're the part of you that learned how the world worked. And if we're talking about food today, your inner child learned what to do around food. So, what you copy now as an adult in terms of the diet and in terms of trying to be good, I bet you that's your inner child that saw mum always on a diet. Or you saw mum grabbing food or hiding food. That was my biggest problem. I've got to be honest. My mum used to hide food. And when I started living with my housemate, that's one of the things that I really had to get out of was hiding food because that was just a pattern that was playing out from childhood. And what I'm on about here is the only reason you can't have those things in the house is because that child inside of you doesn't know what to do with it. And that's where reparenting comes in. That's where you learn to do something called reparenting, where you actually learn to control and help that young, tiny version of you. And you come from being the inner parent, and you learn to teach your inner child the middle ground. I made a really great video all about binge eating just up there. And that's where I talked you through how I've been doing my own parts work as a trauma practitioner. Because I live and breathe and talk what it is that I teach and help clients with, and how I've overcome my binge eating by finding 5 different parts of me. You may call them voices or whatever. But what I want you to know is you're not weak. You're not broken. You're living in an old survival pattern. You're living in a pattern that you learned as a child. And that's where it's your responsibility as an adult to stop letting that impulsive child want the food. The only reason you're calling for the food and you want to go and grab stuff from the supermarket and you want to ram it down your throat really quickly and get rid of it is it's because, as a lot of psychologists will say, you're stuffing your emotions. So one of the things that I'll share with you that really helped me was I learned and taught myself what I call the 10-second pause, and I still use this today. So my 10-second pause is before I want to go and eat something, I always take a 10-second pause and I'm like, okay, why do I want that chocolate biscuit? What recently was I thinking about or was I feeling that was making me think that I wanted that chocolate biscuit? Is there anything that I have been avoiding? Is there any inner work that I need to do? Because why do I want to have that chocolate biscuit right now? What is it in me that I need to look at? And will having a chocolate biscuit make me feel better, or will it make me feel worse? Will it help LK, my own beautiful inner child, or will it not help her? And those are some of the questions that you can use in the 10-second pause. And believe me, it's taken me years to get to this point, but I can now have chocolate biscuits and wafers and ice creams. I'm more your sweet girl, if I'm fair, than I am your savoury. But I can have all of those things in the house. And I find that actually, and I want to pass this on, okay? Because I've got them, I don't actually have that drive or that need to go and buy them. Because is this you? You're sat there watching TV and you maybe order, if you're in the United Kingdom, Tesco Whoosh. That's what my housemate does. Or my housemate gets Uber Eats a taxi to come and drop off goodies and all sorts. But is that you? Are you one of those people that are like, it's 8, half 8, and you're like, I'm just going to go and nip to Co-op? And then what happens is when you're at Co-op, the child inside you is the one making the poor decisions and the choices. So what happens genuinely? You come all the way back home and you gobble and you eat that food. And then another part of you is like, the one that is going to get all that food. And then your inner child feels really silly. You feel really stupid and you feel really guilty. It's not a question of willpower. It's not a question of you, oh, I'm going to just stop myself and deprive myself. Let me make this very clear in this video. It's about you understanding why your inner child is in control. What is it that your inner child wants when it wants to have that food? What is its habit? What is it looking for? And what can you give that inner child in that moment? Here's something that's really helped me. Yes, the 10-second pause, but what I always do, and this isn't something that IFS teaches, or internal family systems as they call it, I always go to the inner child. Every single time I want to go and have chocolate or I want to go and have something, I go straight to LK. And I'm like, hey, LK. And this is the words I use. I'm like, hey, LK, it's daddy. Hey, daddy. Because my inner child's got a voice and yours has too. Sweetheart, why do we want that chocolate biscuit? Is there something wrong? Oh, daddy, I'm struggling. And that's kind of how I start the conversation with my inner child, because one of the things that I'll always say to my own inner child is, like this, I'll give you an example. Oh, sweetheart, why are you struggling? What's going on? Just find things a little bit hard. Okay, daddy's here. What do you want to, what's hard, sweetheart? Just so much work. Oh, okay. All right. So do you need to do some things with daddy? Do you need to spend some time with daddy? Do you want to go to the cinema? I know we watched Magic and the Faraway Tree recently, but daddy doesn't want to watch Super Mario Galaxy. Oh, but daddy, we could. That's just an example. Okay. So what I've done there, as you can see in that little bit of role play there, is I have connected with my inner child. I've told her it's daddy because that's how she knows me. And as I pass across in so many videos, until your inner child naturally calls you mummy or daddy, or they might develop a name for you. I know someone who used to's inner child call them Big Me. So until your inner child has its own name, keep telling them your name and your age whenever it is that you connect with that inner child. Because what is important, as you saw there in that little rehearsal, is I went straight to her and I just said, what's wrong? And what I'm passing across in this video here is it's not a food thing. It's a inner child that needs you. And your job is to consistently provide for your inner child. Because that's what I'm doing. So I don't have the feast or famine that I made a very recent video about, and I'll pop that at the end of this whole video here. I don't have the feast or famine. I don't have the all or nothing, because it's always there for my inner child, because I've got the biscuits or I've got whatever. And I actually found that I went a whole week without having any chocolate, for example, because it was there. And any time that I did want it, and I think it was about like after 5 days, I literally felt my inner child inside of me go, oh my God, like I really want something. And again, I went, hey, okay, what's up? Yes, there, daddy. And again, the more that you interact and you spend time with your inner child, You're creating that safety you didn't have as a kid. So to end here, you're not broken. You're living in a survival strategy where you learned feast or famine, you learned scarcity. Some of you may have even stolen food and all sorts. But what I'm teaching you in this video here is you can learn to have things in the house. And when you get to the point where you're actually able to have those things, that allows you to start really regulating your nervous system. And that's really going to start changing your life. Reparenting is something I'm so passionate about, which is why I do reparenting in my client sessions. Because I truly believe you don't have to go back to the past. You don't need to go back to the past to heal. It doesn't serve you. Reparenting is about understanding what is happening right now. What do I need to give myself in this moment that a version of me in the past didn't get? And when it comes to having certain things in the house, the best thing you can do, I've got it. If you want it, we can have it, because sometimes LK does. But we don't need to stay in a state of scarcity. Because when it's always there, that actually relaxes your inner child rather than stresses them out. And that will be actually the way that you don't have to keep popping out or ordering an Uber or grabbing a takeout. Because if it's there, you're teaching your inner child that it's always there if it needs it. That, for me, is how you're going to learn to lose weight if you want to, rather than all this weight loss jabs and all these diets and Slimming World and everything that you're doing, all these diet fads. What's at the bottom of all that? Your inner child. Help them. They're the version of you that is still stuck in the past. And that's why you're seeing this video. Anyway, I hope this helps and you've taken a lot from it. And let me know in the comments which bit landed here for you. Which bit made you go, thanks, Cal. I'm really glad I clicked on this video. Anyway, as I said, the video up there, all around bits and pieces and stuff, and a playlist for you. Anyway, I hope this helps. Take care. Cheers. Ta-da. Bye-bye.